Hey guys, Evil209 here, back again with another special edition Warhammer 40k Battle Report. Today we're recording you live from Legions Hobbies and Games, where the boys and I will be attending the 2012 Steel City Showdown. A couple of us showed up. We're going to try to play this 1850.3 round event. We'll take a look inside, take a look at the venue, tables, and the opposition we're going to be playing today. Snake Eyes is running it. They always run a good event. Looking forward to it. Okay, so I don't want to ruin some of the magic, but I'm going to do my introduction of the venue here real quick. This is actually at the end of game 2, but there's a couple of armies I wanted to really highlight. This White Scars army, which is absolutely awesome. And then the Imperial Fist army here, that came on their own display board. That is absolutely gorgeous. They really, painting yellow is a pain in the butt, trust me, I know. So those are awesome. But here's all the games pack here. And then they have this back room, which I'll show you here in a minute, which is where I'm playing my game 2. The 50-man tournament, this is just absolutely awesome. They had so many guys here. So much fun so far. But this is a good opportunity to take a look at some of these armies that came in. I'm seeing a lot of flyers this time around. But just gorgeous army after gorgeous army after gorgeous army. I saw another Night Scythe army over here, so I'm kind of curious. I'm going to talk to him in a minute, see what he's doing. But this is Legions. I'll give you a look at the back room here in just a minute. So here's the back room with more tables. That's the table I was supposed to play on in the last game, but we kind of got shifted up. Here's Linda sitting here, probably talking to Robin. There's the table I played on before. Maybe later. Thank you for the offer. More tables back here. More tables back here. And then we still got tables over here. Holy cow. More games going on. This is a huge place. Alright guys, I kind of threw this out here, but this is the list I'm going to be running for the event.
You got 4 of them damn things?
I got 4 of them damn things, Bill.
I hate you.
Destroyer Lord, he's carrying the Ceremential Weave, he's carrying a War Scythe and Mind Shackle Scarabs. 3 6-man race squads, they're all got 3 whip coils each. I'm running the 4 Night Scythes with 6 warrior squads each, and then 3 Annihilation Barges. That's 1,849 points. From the sound, it sounds like we got a bunch of flyers floating around here, so I might actually do alright. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so first round, I drew Christian, which is going to be a rematch. Basically, we've got a split deployment down the middle here. There's 5 objectives. The green dice here represent those objectives. He's playing Orcs with IG. I'm playing my Necron Flyers. He is drawn first turn. We'll get to set up and see how it goes. Alright, so before the first turn started, I was able to steal the initiative, but basically he's got a big blob squad of Orcs here. Big guard squad behind the Aegis defense line, Ludas, and he will outflank for Gadsy, so he and some boys are coming on off the table edge. I'm kind of going on the right-hand side of my board here, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so my first turn, stolen initiative. The 6 I rolled must have been the best one I've got. These guys all moved 12 inches, so they had to fire snapshots. I was trying to take out some of those heavy weapon squads behind the Aegis defense line, but couldn't roll a 6 even with Twin Ling. So basically I just advanced the race forward, and this one rolled a 6 to run, 4 to run, they rolled a 1, so I kind of left them there. We're moving on to Christian's turn. Alright, so Christian's round 1, he did a boatload of shooting, basically evaporated most of that race squad. He's got a wound, my Lord's down to a wound, and he did knock off 2 hull points off my Annihilation Barge, but we'll see how many flyers come in and see how much this game changes. Moving on to my turn. Okay, so my second turn, 2 Night Scythes came in. He was able to get the autocannon off, the quad gun, and take off 2 hull points off of this Night Scythe here. The 1 squad of Ludus here is gone, mostly due to the Annihilation Barges, and my race came in and chopped up some guardsmen. We do have some squads still in combat, so that one's turning out pretty well. He's going to roll to see if Gazi and his boys come in. Christian's turn too? Alright, Christian had some really crappy dice rolls, and I feel bad for him, I really do. The Orcs failed to assault over here. He did fire some shots over the race, but didn't wound. I think he lost a couple more guys over here in close combat, so we're going to go on to my third turn. Alright, so basically I cleaned up over here. He's down to 1 guy on base with my Lord and the snipers in the trees. Race came up here and cleaned up the Ludas, and I fired some Annihilation Barge shots into the boys. We're waiting to see if Gazi comes on in Marbo, but that's about it. My turn 3 is done. Christian's turn 4. Alright, so end of Christian's 4th turn, Gazi and his boys came in over here and shot up some race. This squad came down here and assaulted my Annihilation Barge and knocked off the last hull point. Marbo stepped over here and knocked off another Wraith, and we're moving on to my 5th and probably final. Okay, so we're up against the timer here, but I dropped off warriors here for an objective, here for an objective, here for an objective, here for an objective. Blew everything away on this squad here. Gazi and his squad's left, and they're going to try to take an objective and probably take me with them. We're on to Christian's final turn. Alright, so we're calling at the end. Basically, Christian's going to end up killing these 3 Wraiths, and he's going to jump back and take that objective. So he's got 1 over there. I've got 1 here. one there, one there, and one there. So we'll do the scoring up, and I'll do a follow-up at the end here. All right, so round one's over. I played Christian. Stealing, I had two good things that went with me for that game. Christian, I stole the initiative on him, so I ended up going first. Even though I didn't get enough shooting, I was able to get race in his face on turn 1. And he put Gazzy in reserve, and Gazzy didn't come on until turn 4. And by that point in time, I had everything he could kill air away. He only ever did 2 hull points on 1 Night Scythe. Ended up killing most of his troop choices by turn 3, so it turned out to be a good game. We'll see how it goes in round 2.
My apologies, I thought you were going.
Alright, so we're playing round 2 here. Basically, it's standard old-fashioned pitch battle, playing kill points. I am playing Ken. He is playing a huge mob orc, and then he's got two flyers on top of it and some Forge World Lavas. It should be interesting. So that's his deployment over here. This is my deployment over here. Annihilation Burgess, Racing Lord. He gets the opportunity to steal the initiative. Would you like to take that, sir?
Yeah, that kind of worked out a little bit.
Or would you like to keep it?
So this is I will kill for
He's going to keep it. All right, so we're going on to my turn 1. All right, so I did a shift left over here, hoping to try to avoid an assault at least for a couple of rounds. Basically, I just dumped Annihilation Barges into that squad, knocked a few off. That was pretty much the bulk of it. Moving on to his turn 2, turn 1. All right, so Ken is done with his first turn. He basically shuffled around, did some running. Squad's back there, fired into here, did a wound on this race squad. Similar effect over here. We're moving on. Okay, so end of my second turn, I had 2 Night Scythes come on. Long and short of it, we fired some Annihilation Barges into between the 2 squads. Race charged in. These guys failed their charge, but they got wiped. They got wiped down to 4 and broke, and I caught him in the sweeping advanced. So he's down to 3 mobs, that's right. And then he still got stuff to come on from reserve, but I got the first blood, and I've got up 2 kill points to 0 at the moment. Moving on to Ken's turn 2. So at the end of Ken's turn 2, basically he shuffled around, fired some shots up there, failed to charge on those guys up there, who they're going to come down and say hi. Charged the Lord squad, got him down to 1 Wraith and the Lord himself. That's about it. Moving on to my third. Ken had some misfortune and none of his reserves came in, so basically these guys swept down and helped out with the Lord, and that squad's gone. That squad charged down there, got into combat. Every one of my Tesla guns fired into the squad back there, so we're moving on to Ken. We're in the 4th turn, right? Yeah. Alright, so your stuff is coming in this turn. There's no choice.
4 plus. You know what that is.
No, on turn 4. Oh yeah, that's right. We still gotta do it one more time. Alright, so
let's roll the
let's see if they come in.
Docket jets.
Really up to you.
One docket jet's coming in. And the launches are coming in. So everything but 1 docket jet's coming in. So this might change the game. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so we're in, what, turn 4 now, right?
Yes.
Alright, so Ken's turn 4. His boys, the Rocket Lavas came in over here, dropped high plates all over here, but basically ended up doing a wound to the Lord and wound to 1 Wraith, and that was pretty much about it. His docket jet came in and took some shots at that Night Slice and missed. His boys over here came in and charged, knocked that squad of 6 down to 2 Wraiths, with basically 1 with 1 wound and 1 with 2. Moving on to my 4th turn. Alright, so Ken and I have decided to call this one to an end. Long story short, the docket jet went down to a fire from Night Scythe. I fired everything I had into the lavas back there. They're gone. Lord and everyone else charged in here to wipe this one up. We just are at the point that Ken's got 1 unit left, and we know how this one's going to end. We're going to take a break, get something to eat, and call it a day. Ken, yeah, same here. Awesome game, man. Thanks. Alright, so my round 2's done. Ken was a lot of fun. I think he learned an awful lot about how to play against Necrons. That gave me 25 battle points. I had 25 battle points from the one before, so that puts me at 2-0 with almost maximum points. There's a car hogging, but we'll see how I go. We're going to dinner in round 3. Alright, so the third table, we are on table 3. I am playing Rob, who is playing Space Wolves, an army close and dear to my heart. He's got some long fangs back here, Wolf Guard. He's got a couple of Grey Hunters and Rhinos, some stuff in drop pods, more long fangs over there. We're doing the long table edges. There's 3 objectives. There's 1 here for me that's worth 1, 1 here that's worth 5, and 1 here that's worth 3. We do have Night Fight. He's going to take his first turn. So Rob's turn 1, he basically dropped some Terminators in my rear, took out one of the Annihilation Barges, the Combi Melters. The Combi Melters over here were not so fortunate. They stunned that one up, which I'm going to try to shake off with Living Metal, which I do. And he took out 2 of the race over here, some missile launchers from the Long Fangs. Moving on to my turn 1. Okay, so at the end of my turn 1, basically the Lord squad came in here and took care of the Wolf Guard back here. That squad back here took care of the Wolf Guard back there. The drop pods remained unmolested. These guys charged in here. I shot with the Annihilation Barge, took 2 hull points off, and then these guys hammered Wrath and took out the other one. So he's got a squad in here. Moving on to turn 2 for Rob. Okay, so on Rob's turn, he basically dropped his Lord squad down here and took everyone out of their rides and said, hey, race squad, you're going to go away. Did a pretty good job here. He also fired some missile launchers in this squad here. Evaporated 2 more race. That's the end of his second turn, my second turn. Okay, so end of my second. My race back here failed a charge. These guys came in with the Lord, took out the Lord squad. The Lord was the only thing that remained. He broke, but obviously he's got Nation on No Fear, so he's going to come back. Moving on to Rob's turn 3. Okay, so the end of Rob's turn 3, basically he unloaded everything in his army into one loaded race in the Lord. Basically, the Lord took a wound and all the race are gone. Moving on to my third turn. Okay, so at the end of my third turn, the Lord kind of went up here and took care of that group there. Race came in and swung around. That guy's down to a power sword. We fired some shots at some night sights into some missile launchers, but the 10-man squad over here kind of remains unmolested. I think there's a small squad still in there yet. Moving on to Rob's turn 4. All right, so the end of Rob's turn 4, basically he took out the Lord due to shooting. Took his 10-man squad into here to try to take out these races, but they stood strong. He moved one over here to try to take the objective here. That rhino is empty. We're moving on to my 4. Okay, so the end of my turn 4, basically when Night Sight dropped off some guys here for the 5-point objective. Chain Fist is failing Rob miserably, I'm so sorry to say. My race is still in base over here. The other follower came in, took out a couple of long fangs over here. They need to take break jets. And I knocked one off over there. The guys over here, they're going to take off with the objective. All got blown out of the ride and then killed from there. Moving on to probably the 5th and final turn. We'll see how we do on time. All right, so the end of Rob's 5th, he basically wiped out my squad. I was snugging in up here, knocked off a whole point here, and knocked my race squad down to 1. We'll see how it goes. We're into my 5th turn, and we're probably going 6. We'll see how it goes. Oh, wait, we still... All right, so we're at the end of my turn 5. Basically, I got out, and I'm holding the objective back here. Got out and holding the objective back here. I blew up that rhino. Came in and tried to take shots at that long fang squad. Knocked this one down to 2. Sir, this is more important to me than it is to you. Do you want to roll to see if we go on to 6?
You're going to roll crap for like the next... Well,
we do. We're going on to 6. All right, so I'm going to speed through this because we've got time getting called here. He knocked off the Warriors there. He wiped up the squad here. I'm going to fire everything I can at that squad and see what happens. My turn 6. All right, so we really got time crunch and we went through that. Long story short, we went to 6. I ended up contesting the center. It came down to Rob holding that one objective. He beat me 4 to 1 as far as points are concerned, so it's a minor victory for Rob. And then I think it came out what?
Yeah, it was really close. Let's get the handshake in there too.
Thank you so much. It was awesome game. So I think Rob's going to be contesting. I don't know how well he did, but it's 17. That's a good one on the last table. Moving on to the end. All right, so end of game 3. First of all, Rob, whenever you do get a chance to watch this, you and your son, that was an awesome game. I haven't had such a pleasure losing a game in quite some time. It was a lot of fun. To be honest, I thought I had the game won at turn 5. I had the center objective. I had the one in the back. I was going up 6-0 at that point because I was contesting the other, and I was praying for that game to end on turn 5. He rolled the other one, and I knew before he rolled the die, after the die was rolled and it was over, that he was going to beat me. It was a great game. He had a lot of good counters and took out the race and took the objectives. It was a great game. It was a minor loss for me, so he ended up with 17. I think I ended up with 8 total battle points. So I don't know where that's going to put me in the end, but with so many people, at 50 people, I don't think I'm going to be placing at all. I want to thank everyone at Snake Eyes. It was a great event. Had a good time, and thank you very much.
Good job. Thanks. I hope everybody had a good time. Special thanks to Duncan and Legions. So I want to real quick. I just want to kind of tell you what we kind of did with everything. Was all the fees that were turned in, basically all the entry fees. It's something we normally don't really talk about, but I figure there's 50 people here, so we might as well go ahead and let you know kind of behind the curtain how it all went down. Yeah. So all the money that came in, there was $1,010 that came in. All right. Legions donated $125. And the club donated about $350 worth of prizes, swords, prizes, merchandise, food, drinks, etc. Okay, all that totals up to something that I didn't write down. So I don't know what it is. So it was more than 1,100. So anyways, food cost $380. So everything else is directly into prizes. So we're giving out. I don't have the swords in here. So we're giving out about over $1,100 to 16 different people. That includes the people that have already got them. Some of them have already left. All right, so there were 50 people and 16 people were walking away with something. So that's good because you can't win more than one of the prizes we're going to give out now. Okay? All right. So we will start. Why don't we go ahead and we'll start with the painted category. All right. Start with third, and that is Tyler with his towel.
Woo! Tyler!
Third place in every category is $50 gift card to Legions.
Nice.
All right. Second place in the painted category. And by the way, the painted models, let me just segue for 1 second. Having run a bunch of these events with a lot of you guys coming to a lot of them, seeing your armies go from, a lot of times half painted or sometimes not painted to what we saw today is unbelievable. All of you deserve a round of applause because really, it was a mostly painted. There were some amazing armies, and it was a total, probably 3/4 of all the models out here were painted beautifully. And some of the ones that weren't were the new Chaos Space Marine stuff that just came out, the new Necron stuff that just recently came out. So, we don't enforce painting, we don't make you paint your models, but the fact that all of you guys love the hobby so much that you come out and you're so nice to each other, you're so nice to us, everyone seems to be having a good game, you take the time to paint your models, it's just fantastic. So thanks to all of you. So now, thank you. All right. Second in painting, and this could have went a lot of different ways, was Chris with his Dark Eldar. If you didn't see his stuff, well, there will be pictures up of it because we got a couple pictures. Beautiful freehand work on it. The pictures won't do it justice, but beautiful freehand work. All right. Best painted is Darren with his Imperial Fist.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Just so you guys know how we kind of came down on this, there was a rubric in every folder that we used, and of the top people, one of the things that really put Darren over the top was the display table.
Yep.
I mean, because that was a whole category, so people that had no display table ended up losing, out on that category entirely. So,
make a display board.
Make a display board. It can be simple because it'll get you into the category. I mean, because there's so many of you guys that have beautiful armies, and to those of you that didn't place, sorry, but we really liked your armies. When we looked down, a lot of people had a lot of high scores. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll go to Best Sportsman now. Third place with Blood Angels is Ryan Johnson. Sell.
Yeah, that army was awesome, man.
All right. Second best sportsman, David Knoll with Imperial Gardens. And that was another beautifully painted army if you didn't see it. The freehand work on the Valkyrie and everything. Great. All right.
Command squad.
And best sportsman is Anthony with his Chaos Space Marines. Where's little Anthony? If you're ever in the store and Anthony's around and you need a hand with a roll or something, or just, he's always willing to help out. Great guy.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
All right. Now to Best General. This is strictly on battle points, okay? There is an overall, which we'll get to last, but this is strictly on battle points. So third Best General was TJ with his Tyranids.
TJ!
How many tournaments actually have a guy with Tyranids getting the top of the battle point? Tell him about that. Yeah, it was really, really close. We're talking, the top was, basically a point a person to everyone. So when we get more people next year, we're probably going to have to split into two different groups and have, almost like a bracket going up. Because with 50
Group
people,
A, Group B.
Yeah, it was just so close up at the top. All right. Second Best General is Jason W. with his Necrons. Good job. Congratulations. All right. And the best general overall, again on battle points, is Corey with his Chaos Demons. Where is So then, best overall is all three categories added together. So that's, you know, the person who not necessarily had the overall best painted army, but had a very well-painted army that a lot of people voted for. Had a ton of votes in Sportsman and had a ton of battle points. And those three added up, that's the highest category we have, and that goes to David with Ultramarines. Of the chapter. For those of you that were near that table, and I popped in, that was a pretty epic battle between him and Lewis, from everything I heard. And Lewis was the former winner of the Steel City Showdown, so yeah, it was a fitting way to win it. All right, so we have the snake eyes. Yes. Hold on.
If you were the winner of the Snake Eyes Award, do you want to be known or not known?
So our favorite award is the Snake Eyes Award because we're Snake Eyes because we all roll like crap. So that's our last place award for our last general, worst battle points. So Casey Mahoney, where are you, Casey? But if you're like us, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to matter.
Guys, thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.